Well, it's a very good morning and welcome to today's edition of the topical discussion. I am Simon Kagwanjala. It's the 19th day of August 2026 and we'll be taking a deeper look on the state of things at political parties, places that at the height of political campaigns were buzzing with a lot of activity have now become deserted. And there seems to be a sense of inertia across the entire political aisle. Could it be one of the indicators that perhaps multi-partyism is facing its biggest crisis ever? Activism seems to be taking the new pattern, the new trend. You look within the NRM, it's PLU that's now taking center stage in the politics of the day, while in the opposition, things seem to be in disarray. What is the look of things? Well, joining me this morning is Honorable Francis Mwijuche, former Member of Parliament for Buhweju West County, yes, and Dr. Tanga Odoi, Chairperson, NRM's Electoral Commission. Good to have you both and a very good morning. A very good morning. Well, you are PFF. Do you feel that sense of inertia that is happening within the political party? And does it speak anything to you?
Well, good morning, viewers. Talking about political parties in this country and being a participant is not something you'd pride in, because either way, whether you belong to parties within the opposition or party in government, you realize that parties have been, as institutions, have been fractured, they have been attacked, they have been broken. And so to say that parties are at disarray, it's not just the opposition parties. It has always been political parties versus a military organization in form of a party called NRMO. So we get to a time now where the main opposition parties, their leaders are either in exile or in prison. If you look at PFF, the leader of eminent persons, Dr. Besigye, is not just in prison, he's just dying in prison. The Secretary General is on the run. Honorable Semuju. Honorable Sarah Musumba is on the run. The Deputy President for Eastern Region, Makoha Samuel, is in prison. And so you have a leadership that has been targeted for purposes of destroying a political party. And yet some people in Uganda would want to see parties operating normally in an abnormal situation where the leaders are targeted and are in disarray. You go to NUP, the leader is in exile. The deputy for Northern Uganda has also followed, is in exile. The deputy for Buganda is in prison. The spokesperson is in prison, and many other activists. And you think such parties are parties that are going to compete with the military organization and engage? So you have a situation of parties operating under fear.
So is the future of multi-partyism now a big question to answer?
You see, first of all, we went into multipartyism when the then leaders did not support multipartyism. If you remember, the referendum then was Tubejeko. So as if other people were going for multiparty and the person campaigning for multipartyism is remaining in the movement system. And so you have a leadership that has never recognized multipartyism, but finds themselves acting in a way of being in multi-party system, but they are not. And so the situation we are in is a dangerous one. I was talking about PFF and its leadership. The president of PFF is Honorable Kwago. You know what he's going through. So, how then do you assess the situation within such a political party?
So it is foolhardy to imagine that political parties have a future.
There will always be a future. And I can tell you there will be a future in this country where there is a will, there is a way. We will find a way, we will reorganize, we will make up, we will restructure and move. Because nothing can stop us from moving. But it is important that now we sit as various political actors, those who are for change, and agree that times have changed, the enemy has changed face, the strategies have changed, and we must get a way of moving together but differently.
Well, Dr. Tango Doi, as a staunch NRM stalwart, do you realize that the cheese has moved in a way that today PLU is calling the shots in what used to be NRM? And the PLU boldly said NRM is a reactionary force that ought to be replaced.
Well, I think a complete study of politics, or a deeper study of politics, is that politics is not a static game. It's not a game where you say what was will remain and remain and remain. Politics is static. That's why political parties form, political parties collapse, politics continues. As long as human beings are alive, as long as we have human beings, politics will always be there because it's a game of humanity. So even when you say NRM is giving way, PLU is this, that is part of politics. Generation, regeneration, and regeneration. You cannot sustain yourself in one place.
Yeah, but do you worry that the foundations of NRM are cracking?
I don't see any crack in the foundation of NRM. I speak my mind, and I speak it very easily. I don't call shots or call shots to find me talking what I say. The cracks are more in the opposition, like he has just said. The first thing which you must see within political parties is the ability of leaders to cascade or to navigate through problems. If the leaders are able to navigate through problems in the space that is available, that means that political party is still alive.
Yeah, but we're looking at the tough times that NRM is facing today, to the extent that Chadon has become redundant and it's been replaced or hijacked by the new force called PLU.
Politics is seasonal. You cannot expect Chadondo, Plot 10, to be as vibrant as it was in the last few months before the election of the president. If you really watched the space, Chadondo was so vibrant with activities. Now that we have actually a government in place, Chadondo is not now withdrawing to reorganize itself and how to manage the state.
I want you to look at this irony, that it is PLU that is now cherry-picking people for key government positions. I'll give you the case of the Speaker of Parliament, where it was on the dictates of PLU that Oboth was chosen as the Speaker.
Well, you know, this is what I'm saying, politics is dynamic. Within NRM, there's PLU. PLU is not a political party. I want to say that for record. PLU is a pressure group within NRM. I can be quoted today, tomorrow, until it becomes a political party. PLU has not marshaled candidates out there. It did not go out as a political party like FDC, PFF, DP, NRM to say the following are flag bearers of PLU. If you have that information and that data, give me. I'm the chair of the NRM Electoral Commission. We have 373 flag bearers in Parliament. Those flag bearers all went through the system called primaries. Most of them subscribe to a pressure group called PLU, or some of them. Now, if they subscribe to a pressure group called PLU, it does not make PLU an overriding force within NRM.
But there's divided loyalty.
There is no
There
divided
are
loyalty.
the NRMs and the PLUs.
I can tell you NRM
Do
is
you
still,
agree that there are some people who are loyal to NRM and some who are loyal to PLU who look at the NRM with so much distaste?
I think the definition of loyalty should actually change. We have a president of NRM, the chairman of NRM, who's none other than His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. That is the chairman of the party. We have a structure of the party. We have the first national vice, second, we have SEC, we have the structure up to the village. NRM structure has not been tampered with, even with the rise of PLU. Members of PLU subscribe to NRM. And when you say, they say NRM is a reaction force, a reactionary party. A party must be reactionary. You must react to events of the day. Otherwise, then you'll be dead on arrival. If things are happening in the neighborhood, you must be able to have a department which should analyze and see how you react if there's need to react. So NRM is still as vibrant. PLU is a pressure group within NRM. I'll say that, and I've said it today, I'll say it tomorrow.
Yeah, but
nobody has registered PLU as a political party. If you have the registration, tell me.
Well, reactionary in this sense literally means out-fashioned and failing to change to the new trends.
Reactionary, in my sense, can be paradigm shift. When you say this method we used, this model, did not lead us to what we have, you change. You could change in a space of time. You could change gradually to that new model. That is, you can call it reactionary. I'll call it a paradigm shift, depending on which situation I want to handle. Analytical politics, analyzing politics, depends on how you analyze. You could be from a Marxist angle. You could be from a communist angle. You could be from the capitalists, from the neoliberals. That is how you analyze politics. And that view you analyze, that view you hold, depending on which shade you come from, is your view.
Okay.
And you're entitled.
Do you agree that the PLU is now shifting the dynamics of politics within the NRM?
That is okay.
Is that okay?
That's okay. If you
Isn't this threatening the future?
No. It is how you handle that new dispensation that matters.
Okay. How do you handle the confusion?
There's no confusion. Do you see confusion in NRM?
Yes, there is.
Which confusion?
Loyalty.
Loyalty is not questionable.
There is Naguru and
We
Kachaguru
have
now.
all of them, including the current leader of PLU, subscribes to the loyalty, in loyalty subscription, if you want it to be called subscription, to the chairman of NRM. Even General MK, who is the overall of PLU, subscribes in subscription is the word. If loyalty is the word, he is loyal to the chairman of NRM.
Well, NRM is in an awkward spot that you once had. There was once Katonga and Najja Nkumbi. Katonga turned out to be a pressure group, and it became a rival force to the FDC that actually caused the collapse of the FDC. What's your take?
The collapse of the FDC was not by the Katonga group.
Yeah, but Katonga significantly bruised Najja Nkumbi.
Of FDC or collapse of FDC? Let's use good words.
Katonga came up as a result of the collapse of the FDC. The challenges at the FDC that was created by the same enemy who has entered into all the political parties and eaten them up led to the rise of Katonga. And so you can't say now what came up as a result of a problem at Katonga was the problem. A problem at Najja was the problem of Najja Nkumbi. I don't believe so.
So there is a likeness between PLU and Katonga.
No.
PLU is synonymous with Katonga.
No. We operate differently, and we are for different
Pressure group.
We are for different missions. You see, for us, we are a revolutionary force. We are fighting for justice. Unfortunately, you're talking about a country where the space that we used to operate in is dwindling. And consequently, you are talking about what is happening in the NRM. If you meet my friend, the Honorable Minister for Local Government, in operations, you realize there is no government. Because Besigye is in prison, Kyagulanyi is in exile, the ropes cannot operate normally because of the space. Now,
how does that connect with Balam?
The leader of opposition now is Balam. The one who is saying the roads are not well done. There is no medicine in the hospital. This one should be arrested. The government, you civil servants are not doing your work. Because these have been put away from action, and now there is a semblance of opposition within government for purposes of a transition. And so somebody will be moving out there saying now, Balam is our savior. He talks about our challenges. He talks about corruption. He's talking about lack of medicine. He's talking about roads that are poorly done. Why? Because those who are pushing for that cannot be allowed space. You remember when Dr. Besigye was in Paris?
Did you call Balam the new leader of opposition?
Acting like a leader of opposition within government. Because I saw when he was being welcomed in Pakwach, I was seated with somebody who understands the language, and they were saying, you are the savior we have been waiting for. We have suffered. We have been humiliated. They have stolen from us. Come and save us. Then you ask, who has been stealing from them? Who has been humiliating them? Who has been stealing the money for roads? Who has been making sure that the interns are fighting, demonstrating, striking? Who is the problem? Because the people who are now supposed to speak for the people cannot be allowed to speak for the people. Now there is a person decorated as leader of opposition who has even taken over from the prime minister.
Why is that your business?
People now know Balam. They no longer know Nabanja. They no longer know who. If you hear the Honorable Minister Byabakama speaking, you think Katumba was never a Minister of Works. Because you ask, he's saying this money was eaten. When it was being eaten, where was Katumba Wamala? Byabakama appears like the first Minister of Works. You saw how he was talking about roads in Kampala, how people are sharing money. When you hear Honorable Dr. Tango Doi here speak, you realize that the tone has changed. He's no longer the Tango Doi of the Electoral Commission that spoke with a lot of power and authority. He's not that one.
He's adapting, like he said, politics shifts.
I agree. He has given up.
He's alive to
He has accepted that there is something new coming. Because he paraded a speaker, a candidate for a speaker in this country, and said, we have chosen this one as NRM, as NEC. He was forced to eat his own words by this PLU. And he came and said, okay, now things have changed. I now paraded a different person.
I think, Doctor, you need to come in here. I think that left an egg on your face. I saw you jubilating at the mention of Anita Among and how things flipped just by the order, the directive.
The Right Honorable Anita Among wrote a letter which is on table, withdrawing from the Speaker's race. I have that letter.
Okay. You are now trapped in the contradiction.
There's no contradiction.
You're trapped in the contradiction.
There's no contradiction. That is what politics is about.
Who calls the shots now in NRM?
The president of Uganda,
No.
the chairman of the party.
No.
But you asked me a question.
Okay, fine.
You asked me a question. My answer may be wrong, but allow me to make that answer. On account of which, you can actually now go to the next level. Who calls the shot in NRM? The chairman of NRM is President Yoweri Museveni. He's the chairman of NRM. He's the chairman of SEC. He's the president of Uganda. He calls the shot and all listen and follow.
Who dictated on the choice of speaker?
No, the choice of speaker was the responsibility of the Central Executive Committee. The Central Executive Committee sat and made a review. And in the process of that review, changes came.
Okay. Does the process within which the Speaker of Parliament was cherry-picked raise eyebrows to you?
No, cherry-picked is a big word. I think that is the low-hanging fruit. The capacity of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker are known. They are measurable in their performance. We had changes so that there's one Speaker and then another Speaker. Those changes came. How they came is that they
It was an anointment.
No,
Someone came and said, this is the person I need for.
like
and,
I can say.
And
like
you had to abide.
Like other people can say.
You had to abide.
Like other people can say. And when the Central Executive Committee meets and then takes its decision.
Your role was to crown.
No, our role as a party was to listen.
Listen to who?
Listen to all and sundry.
Who?
Everybody who wants to talk is listened to.
Okay. Who called the shots on the speakership?
But who calls the shot? The president of Uganda, the chairman of the party called the shots. Yes.
It is General
As long as I know, General MK could have been a mouthpiece. But the chairman of the party and the Central Executive Committee still call the shots in NRM. I can tell you.
No, I'll give you the scenario how it happened. Just at a time when we knew it was a clear shot for Anita Among, someone wrote, tweeted and said, this is my choice for speaker. And tables turned.
Well, someone wrote and tables turned, like you put, that is transition.
Oh.
That's transition.
So,
because if someone wrote...
So is NRM undergoing some bit of metamorphosis?
Every party that wants to survive has to go through that process of metamorphosis. When they are further metamorphized, they become harder and stronger.
Okay. You're a political scientist.
I'm a political historian.
How meticulous should the process of transition be within the NRM?
The process of transition, and I said this, every 5 years there's a transition. The only thing you want to see with this transition is that the president should not be Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. That's a mistake people make.
No, I'm talking about the metamorphosis that is seeing now NRM morph into another outfit.
No,
because
those outfits are a process of political dynamism. The dynamics in politics will always bring new forces.
Yeah, but
even when you say FDC collapsed, PFF, that is not the right choice of words. FDC had a metamorphosis. There's a birth of ANT from FDC. There's a birth of PFF from FDC. How FDC controls the remaining package is when politics is judged and leadership is judged.
Okay.
There is a rise of PLU within NRM. How NRM handles PLU within the NRM is a test to NRM.
okay, how delicate should NRM handle PLU?
Why should PLU be handled as a delicate child? Why? PLU is a pressure group. We should go through the rigors to become a political party if he wants.
Are you a member of PLU?
I'm not. I'm a member of NRM.
Yes, but do you subscribe to PLU?
I subscribe to some of the views they hold.
No, do you subscribe
I
to
subscribe to some of the views they hold.
PLU has members, right?
Let me tell you, PLU has members within NRM. But those NRM members, listen to me, you people will miss
This is
out.
a very interesting
You will miss out. You will miss out.
Uh-huh.
PLU has members who subscribe to it in ideas, in philosophical dimension. But they have not departed from NRM. NRM is the mother. PLOE is a pressure group within the mother house.
Do you subscribe to PLU?
I subscribe to some of the ideas they hold.
Why aren't you a member?
I'm not a member.
Why aren't you a member of
I'm
PLU?
not a member because it has not transited for me to make a
So
membership.
isn't it a contradiction that
No.
what you call a pressure group has membership,
No.
has a secretariat and a membership?
Those members subscribe to the pressure group. And this is okay. They subscribe to the
A pressure group has members?
No, a pressure group always has members. Why would it be a pressure group without members? How does it form pressure without members? How?
Registered members.
It has to have members. Once it is registered, that is a transition it may have towards a political party. That is a trend.
I think there is a bit of distortion here. NRM members are members of PLU.
NRM members, they are members of NRM as a party who subscribes to some of the ideals of PLU. Who subscribe to some of the ideals of PLU. Just a minute. You are missing the point. You are taking it lying low. I'm here as to give you political analysis. They are members of NRM who are card holders of NRM. There's a PLU, which is not a political party, but a political pressure group, which has ideals. We subscribe to PLU because of ABCD. Subscribing to PLU because of ABCD does not remove you from being a member of NRM until PLU becomes a political party.
Okay. Here is the reality. PLU is headquartered with the Secretary General.
That's okay. How would they? How would they not have a framework? A pressure group in a sense of politics, in the politics of any transition,
and now,
must have
majority of members of parliament pay their allegiance to PLU.
They subscribe to some of the ideals of PLU. I will not deviate.
Do you?
Ideals does not make you.
No, do you subscribe to the ideals of PLU?
Some of the ideals.
So you're a member?
Some. That does not qualify you to be a member.
No. Honorable Mujiche,
you see,
help me understand this
it does
contradiction.
not.
At least you've belonged to a pressure group. How do pressure groups...
I told you that the reality has set in, but some people are still, they still want to live in the past. I told you my friend Tanga, who is really a senior citizen in this country, a scholar, realizes that he's now in between an NRM and a new group. And the working styles of the new group are different, but he's trying to see how it fits in.
No.
Because you can't say, I identify with Rome, with the Catholic Church, but I'm not very Catholic. Because he's trying to say, the Pope is my leader. And some of the ideas I agree with, but I am not Catholic. But away from that, we are in abnormous times. We are in abnormous times.
Okay. Tell us.
Yes.
Today, we are confronted by a confusing and amorphous outfit called PLU. They say they're a pressure group, but they operate like a political party, and they're now overtaking the NRM.
But is NRM a political party in the first place?
Yes, it is.
It is not. He's
the chairman, and he sits on the Senate.
That is why he can take a decision and he's forced to backtrack. Because he's working for a military organization. It takes orders. It doesn't go by what you think. He's no longer in Makerere where you sit down and write a proposal and then, no. He's in a military organization now where they come and say, we have now changed. And he will say, okay. But which institution is working away from the political party? Is it the judiciary? I was in court yesterday when Justice Baguma declared that I am going to hear this case without Dr. Besigye and without his lawyers. So you have a case that attracts a death sentence on Dr. Besigye that is going to be heard without his lawyers and without him.
We are talking political parties.
I'm talking about institutions. That is not just about political parties.
We're talking multipartism.
Yes.
And the future of political parties.
It is this that informs what is happening in the country. When we ran away from the court martial, we thought we were seeking relief in civil courts. But at least in the court martial, you are allowed a lawyer. But now we find acting judges who are waiting for President Museveni to appoint them. They are acting. They operate far below than the court martial was operating.
Okay.
So, but the point I'm trying to bring is, as long as there's some leadership that is not interested in seeing institutions work, whether they are political parties, whether it is parliament, whether it is NGOs, they will be suffocated.
You belonged to a pressure group.
Yes, I did.
Do you look at PLU as a pressure group?
PLU is not just a pressure group, because you see it has authority. We were in the pressure group. I was in FOC. I was in many other...
Reform agenda?
Many. But we didn't have that authority of commanding Tango Doi change his area position. It was a pressure group that didn't have ministers in it. But you have a pressure group with ministers. You have a pressure group with army officers. You have a pressure group with police officers. You have a pressure group with a speaker of parliament as a member. Actually, speakers of parliament were a function in Shema. And the minister Baram was a chief guest where there was a deputy speaker. So, because now it is PLU, the speaker is under Baram. Yes, because it is PLU, the speaker is under Baram.
No.
Because the speaker runs PLU. The speaker is, I don't know number what. Because the speaker is under the chairman of PLU. And the chairman of PLU under the government.
So the speaker now takes instructions from Kabanda.
Yes.
Who is the chairman of PLU?
Yes. Because you see, under normal circumstances, you would have the president as number one, the vice president, and the speaker. The order of precedence. Now, members of parliament are number 17. The army commander is, I think, number 20-something. But you see, this one is not just an army commander. No, he's an army commander, but he's the chairman of PLU. And because PLU is now above NRM, is above certain government institutions, the speaker will go and pay homage. Okay. And say, please, can you give me a number? And then they will say, okay, you are number 25. I remember Kabanda is number 5. So at the end of the day, so where the speaker finds Kabanda, he has to realize that this one is my boss in PLU.
Okay. Is this the new confusion? And that's the difference between... Is this the new confusion to contend with?
I don't want to think it's a confusion. It is the way of doing things within the establishment. We may think it is confusion. I don't want to think so. Because we see it being followed to the letter.
Okay, thank you. We're taking a break, but is this the new abnormal politics that the country has to digest?
I don't think that's even anything I should waste time on. These are transitional, or these are dynamics within politics. A pressure group comes up, another pressure group will come up, the other will also come up. That's how politics is. If it was a kingdom, you'd find princes and princesses having their own confusion. This princess is coming up, this one is coming up. But when the center holds, all that comes to be. Because the center is NRM. Okay. The chairman of NRM is holding. And he has overall
NRM
command.
Has two secretary generals. One of PLU and one of...
No, we have a secretary general called Richard Tudong. They have a general secretary called Fadil Twala.
Tudong is also going to be...
We have a secretary general called Richard Tudong. They have
a general... a member of PLU.
They have a general secretary. PLU is not yet transiting into a political group. It is moving. It may become a political group later, but for now it's a pressure group.
Okay.
And NRM is holding. I want to put
Is there a silent transition happening within the NRM?
Transition is always transition. You can call it silent, you can call it open, you can call it overt. Transition is always transition. And that's why I say politics is dynamic. If PLU is a pressure group within NRM, and if NRM has a majority of people who are also saying the ideas of some ideas of PLU are good, we subscribe to it, That is transition, the politics of transition. That's dynamism within the party. If they put vibrancy, which makes NRM think harder, that is what politics is meant to be. I don't see anything. The only thing is how do you manage? And I think NRM chairman is managing it well.
Here is another question. Are pressure groups becoming preferable and more fashionable in today's politics?
No, there was a pressure group in FDC. And if it was preferable, it would have been voted when it became PFF. There was a pressure group against the original FDC. But if the masses are to judge you, the masses should have voted it overwhelmingly against even FDC where they came from. There was a pressure group which brought ANT. And if the pressure group was popular, it should have been voted. So PLU is not yet in that circumstance. We can only judge it, see whatever, when it transits to a political party.
Well, we're taking a very short break, but still the question remains. Are parties now under a new threat, and that would call for more soul-searching on their future? We'll be back.
Are you planning an event? Think of X Events. For the best photography and videography of all kinds, we believe that every moment is worth capturing. Whether Kwanjula, weddings, Kuhinjira, bringing out the culture and glamour. And of course, a professional team that has mastered the art of the game and Progear with elegance. X Events is located along Rubaga Road on Access Building opposite Hotel Sojavalo. X Events, capturing your precious moments.
Kumulembe kuna abakozi bachayambala ebintu ebyo bisambala bannannyini makolero si kampuni abakozi mubafunire uniforms eziri ku mulembe okuva mu Jude Color Solutions banyirire bafulume mu material ne design ebiriko ate nga kuliko n'akabonero ka kampuni yo olwo business babantu maaso bagimanye tosubwa campaign eno omulamwa kugamba nti stand out mu uniform yo ne Jude Color Solutions bali ku Prime Complex ku Johnson Street shop number C24 esimu noti 7772 45 91 mwenda wamune ku www.judecolor.com.
Why pay for someone else's repairs? Say goodbye to hidden costs and hello to peace of mind of a brand new start. Discover the Suzuki range of unmatched fuel-efficient and reliable options. From the iconic Jimny to the new Across Hybrid. Find the perfect blend of style and world-class efficiency. Upgrade today and enjoy 1 year of free fuel and comprehensive insurance, plus 2 years of free service and a 3-year warranty. Trade in your current car or choose financing to start driving as you pay installments. Don't wait. Visit the Suzuki showroom today or call 0800-211-033 to get started.
What if you could find a tranquil escape right here in the city? Welcome to Sheraton Wellness Spa, where calm meets comfort and your well-being comes first. Step into a world designed for you. A serene heaven to unwind and rejuvenate. From the moment you arrive, feel the stress melt away. Relax in our steam room. Detox in the sauna. Let every breath bring you peace. Because here, it's not just about treatments, it's about you. Your sanctuary in the heart of Kampala. Sheraton.
The playground has moved. More than a third of Uganda is online now, and half the country is under 18. 1 in 5 Ugandan children face cyberbullying. Most never tell anyone. It can look like trolling, body shaming, even grooming. Different harm, same silence. Be a cyber hero. Protect a child online the way you would in person. Mute it, report it, check on them. A hero doesn't have to be big. They just have to do something. Be a cyber hero.
Well, still talking about the new reality that is dawning on politics as political parties now appear to be becoming either extinct or irrelevant, and pressure groups are taking center stage. Is it time, Honorable Mwijuche, for the opposition, having realized that several years down the road, parties are in limbo, you get back to activism?
But you see, we have been moving. I don't think it is right for us to imagine that political parties have done nothing. We have achieved a lot. We are where we are because of the efforts of the actors in the opposition.
But you're now stuck.
If political parties were that weak, if political leaders in political parties were that weak, you wouldn't be having a Chaguranyi in exile. You wouldn't be having a Dr. Besigye in Ruzira.
Okay.
Because it shows you that there is somebody scared of these leaders.
There are two scenarios. How would you compare Reform Agenda, FOC, with the PFF?
You see,
in terms of putting up pressure?
You see, PFF is a freedom front. It's a front for freedom. And all that we have been fighting for since Reform Agenda is for purposes of freedom. Now, it is not about which name. It's about the mission. And now, whether we shall get there.
I thought you were more vibrant as pressure groups, not as political parties.
That is also true, because political parties have their other challenges of who will be president, who will be the vice president, and who are you coming from. So, we are moving to an era where we must move in solidarity. You saw us the other day declaring that today, Wednesday, every Wednesday, we shall be donning on the national flags, black, yellow, red, in solidarity with all political prisoners.
You are in blue?
No, I am going for that after here.
Okay.
Because we believe that we need to move together. Whether you're NRM, whether you are in these other political parties, the oppressor remains the same. And that's why NRM is also in disarray. But two, we also declared that every Friday we'll be having prayers for the Muslims, and Saturday we'll be having prayers for the Adventists, and Sunday for all the Christians, Anglicans and Catholics. Because you realize that this country really needs prayers. And let me tell you, there is a King of Kings up there. So you can push, but you also need God's intervention. And that's not to say we have given up, no. That's to say that we realize that God is very important in this struggle. But finally, there is how we used to operate then. You are arrested, and the lawyer will come for you, and you'll get bail, and that way, that has changed. The lawyers are either in prison or in exile. The lawyers have all withdrawn from Dr. Besigye's case because they are intimidated. So that way of activism is now changing to another level, where we are now sitting to say, if things have changed and we must continue moving, how do we move? Some of these things I cannot say here, not because Tango Doi is here, but because it is a strategy to deal with the challenges, including liberating Dr. Tango Doi from where he is.
If Dr. Tango Doi, if change within the NRM is inevitable, how delicate should the process of change be managed?
No, I think the last word is the best. How do you manage change? It is how you manage change that makes change, that process, either delicate, manageable, or chaotic.
For now, it is chaotic.
There's no chaotic situation.
There is an identity crisis that exists within the party. And the future of the party hangs in the balance.
There's that assumption, perception, and your own view, which is okay. Because all this leads to your own view. You are perceiving that NRM is in a crisis. I am telling you, NRM has no crisis. NRM has no turbulence because of the existence of PLU. I don't see any turbulence. I see formations. When people talk about Balaam, they don't see Balaam as a government minister under the NRM. They now see Balaam as a project of PLU. Balaam is a government minister. And whatever he does, and whatever he should do, should be within the confines
to the
of
credit
the law.
of PLU.
Should be within to the credit of NRM government.
No, a PLU, because...
No, PLU is not an NRM government. PLU is a pressure group within NRM.
But if I
The
could,
government that appoints.
When we are looking at the list,
put a question
when we are
to
looking at the list, just a second, when we are looking at the list of ministers, we started categorizing and said, these are the PLUs who have been taken on within the NRM. And NRM has gone further to the extent of signing a memorandum of understanding with the PLU. What does that suggest to you?
Now, are those ministers appointed by PLU or NRM? Those are NRM appointed ministers. Consultations can be within a political party.
Is Mao NRM?
Is appointed by NRM.
Yes.
president.
Does it make him NRM?
No, it does not make him NRM, but who appoints them? It is.
These are PLUs.
No, excuse me. You are seeming to promote PLU at the expense of even the chairman of the party. The chairman of the party is the president of Uganda. He has the leverage, the political leverage, to appoint whoever he wants.
You have a question for
Yes, let him put his question to me.
yes, I have seen a Honorable Kabanda versus ministers of government, such as Honorable Tafire, Honorable Chris Baryomunsi. If that is not a crisis, if that is not confusion, what is it?
I think confusion, crisis, is a result of turbulence. The failure to control turbulence will reach to a crisis. If those people had altercations, if they had altercations, okay, they differed, even in the press here. I remember here, Baryomunsi is saying, the other one is Oba, is it handicapped something? Those are views of two people who are
You
clashing.
cannot afford to repeat what he said, otherwise you'll have a problem.
No. I can repeat whoever says it because those are his words. That is how he described his own friend. Now, those are issues of a family. If your children in a family conflict, if your children in a family answer each other in rude language, isn't it manageable? It is manageable.
So there are all signs that there is internal strife
No,
within
there's
NRM.
no internal strife. Internal strife, Njala, is not what you're talking about. If you're talking about Baryomunsi being answered by Kabanda, Tango Doi answering Lumumba, those are individuals with different viewpoints. Those are individuals like a family has children.
Okay.
And they will quarrel over sugar, they will quarrel over this.
NRM now has two wings. The conservatives who have failed to move with the PLU, and they are the liberals.
And those don't exist.
They do.
They don't exist.
Are you a member of PLU?
Let me tell you, it is not mandatory that all of you should be open this and the other.
So you belong to the conservatives?
No, you are now branding us conservatives.
Yes.
NRM is a big party. PLU is a pressure group within NRM. Is a child. Is a child. Judgment of whether it is a true child of the revolution is when it comes to perform. Napoleon is a child. The French Revolution brings it. Is he a true child of the revolution? We judge according to how one performs. Is PLU performing at the moment? PLU as a pressure group, like other pressure groups, exists within that pressure group.
Okay. What you need to contend with is that PLU has overrun NRM.
What we need to contain with as politicians and the political parties is that political parties are not static. Political parties are dynamic, and within any political party, a force will come up. And that force...
To dislodge?
No, listen to me. A force will come up with new ideas. How you contend with that force is the judgment one will make on the maturity of that political party.
Where NRM is,
FDC had...
the boss has been replaced by a lion.
No, you are moving faster than fast. What I'm telling you is that PLU is a political pressure group within NRM.
I am confused.
NRM is handling...
But you see,
that brings us to the
before
end.
you get confused, I saw how all the people who wanted to be appointed ministers were running to Kororo to be seen, to be identified with MK run.
That's egoistic.
For purposes
would you
of
be
being
surprised?
appointed ministers.
Would you be surprised?
That would tell you that there was power in Kororo.
That is the egoistic nature of man.
Chadondo. So that PLU is more powerful than
No,
Chadondo.
that is the egoistic
that's
nature
why
of
the ministers
man.
were not looking for
Man, read Thomas
ministerial
Hobbes.
positions
You are still
in
young.
Chadondo.
You are still young,
They
you
were not
can
looking for
read.
ministerial positions in Chadondo.
You are
They were
still
looking for ministerial
young,
positions
you
from
can
them
read.
Run.
Read the philosophies of Thomas Hobbes.
Yes.
Thomas Hobbes analyzes man and the nature of proactive man. You must look at what you want to gain, and if you have a shortcut, you move to the shortcut.
So there is a new power center within NRM.
There is a pressure group within NRM.
Yeah, but it's the new power center.
It is a pressure group within NRM.
Okay.
You
Who
see-
calls the shots in NRM?
The president of
Todo-
Uganda, the chairman of the party,
Todo-
Yoweri Kaguta
I
Museveni
think
calls the
can,
shots.
can do better going back to
Gentlemen,
Makerere than at
that's
Chadondo.
thank you
Because
much
you
for
guys
being
are
here
Makerere.
this morning. Have a lovely day and cheers.
Better